Back again for another video. Had a bit of an allergy problem for a minute there. Jeez, seems like I can't rid myself of this crap. But here I am back again. But anyways, on today's topic, we'll be talking about the ability to evolve and what you need to evolve. And it's going to be geared towards mostly women, because this is from a man's standpoint, point of view, whatever, perspective, whatever. And this is more so geared towards how I've dealt with women and the things that I have come across. So anyway, to evolve is meaning to transcend to a different, how can I put it? A different form. Notice the word transcend. De-evolution, of course, is to ascend to a previous form, meaning that you are very much like you used to be in some form or shape or fashion. So we won't be talking necessarily about the de-evolution portion of it. I may do another video about that. But today's topic, once again, is the evolution of women and what do they need to evolve. Here's what I understand about women is that they are very much in a echo chamber a lot of times, especially nowadays with social media. You subscribe to the things you like, right? And that's all you really come across. So there'll be a compounding of a rhetoric that you've already subscribed to being fed to you all the time, and you will not be challenged. Could we possibly say that person is evolving? Yes and no. They're evolving into a hardened form of their belief system, but they're not evolving into something that is different from the form that they're taking now. It's almost like a petrification process. Not everything petrified starts out always hard, but petrification means that it turns hard, right? And that's pretty much what's happening to a lot of women. Why is this? Why is the petrification of one's ideology, especially in regards to women, becoming so prevalent? Because I run into women very often who live in an echo chamber. They live in a bubble. They are not privy to anything outside of them. But one thing that is always missing with these type of women is interactions with men all the time, or on a regular basis, or on an interpersonal level, rather, whether it be a family member, whether it be a, how can I put it, a brother, uncle, father, whatever. They don't have these things a lot of times. Sure, they may love their children, but they're going to feed them the same stuff that they're being fed. So they don't get challenged a lot. But that's one thing that's always missing. They're missing men. I've understood for a very long time, ever since I've been who I've been, who I've accepted myself to be and what I've accepted myself to be. And I understood that the things that I had to say and the things that I know were meant to be taught. And to who, I was wondering for a very long time. This is part of my duty, is to do these videos and spread the information that I understand. But in my own interpersonal life, I try to talk to the men, I try to talk to the women, and especially my family members. They're not really, they don't absorb it a lot. We all come from Detroit, a lot of us, my family members anyways. And that place is pretty much the cesspool of the gynocracy. I don't know how else to put it. So that is a huge echo chamber. And a lot of these men and women who are my family were raised in that same environment that I was. This goes back to what I was talking to in regards to, I don't understand what made me so different and why I didn't end up like they did. I couldn't tell you. We grew up together. Like I said, we live in the same city. We experienced a lot of the same things. These are my family members, right? Even my brothers and sisters, some of them are locked by the gynocracy. And I talk to them, of course, but they don't hear me for whatever reason. They don't hear me because they don't have the evolved ears to hear me. You have to, as a person who needs to evolve and wants to evolve, You have to look for something that is going to challenge you. There's a common saying that I like to go by. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. Period. That'll be life, death. That'll be any situations, whether it be harsh, divorce, marriage, etc. All these things. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. Because challenge is what promotes change. When you're faced with adversity, you're faced with a mountain of things that you have not experienced before. When you have a flat path, think about it. I mean, let's look at it very plainly. We all know that a sedentary lifestyle is really bad for your health. Why? Because you're not getting up, moving, getting your blood vessels going, getting your heart going, etc. And you're just letting these things that are toxic in your body sit. They rest. It's kind of like a leaf that is on still water. It'll, instead of washing somewhere, it'll just settle to the bottom. That's why they call it a sedentary lifestyle, where you just sit. And it causes sediments in your body because they're not being flushed out, versus, like I said, the moving river, that a leaf hits, it's gone. It's not going to settle to the bottom. It will settle to the bottom somewhere else outside of the system. But very plainly, sedentary lifestyle, there's nothing challenging to that. When you don't challenge, you oftentimes de-evolve, period. But like I said, I'm not here to talk about de-evolution, but you oftentimes de-evolve because you become less of what you knew yourself to be. Not more, but less. You become less of what you knew yourself to be. And with a constant feeding of the same thing, you are constantly feeding yourself de-evolution. There is no challenge there. There's nothing that is prompting you to think differently or critically. There's nothing that's trying to use your critical thinking, that you have to use your critical thinking about. None of this stuff. There's nothing that you have to charge your logic to be in gear over. Nothing. So you live a sedentary lifestyle in ideology. And this is what most women do with these echo chambers. They only want to hear what makes them feel good. They only want to hear what moves their emotions. Sure, they like drama, but it's drama, right? It's, once again, just the sedentary lifestyle all over again. It's the same stuff. Drama does not challenge you, right? Because it's the same, no matter what drama it comes from, no matter what kind of drama it is, it's still in the genre of drama. It doesn't change you. I ask these chicks, a lot of times, have you practiced being a humble person? That's challenging. That is challenging, especially when you come from a prideful sense of mind, sense of self. To challenge yourself to be a humble person, oh, that's a real challenge. To challenge yourself to extinguish the pride about yourself that you probably didn't even work for anyway, that you just got an entitlement because someone was enabling your behavior, right? That's not going to force you to change. It's not. Going down the same vein of things that you've been through, the same things that you understand, is not going to help you evolve. And once again, a lot of these women, they don't have men. Because what do men do? I recently was reading something today. It was like a comment or something. I forgot where I was reading it. And this chick, she was trying to shame men, of course, black chick, whatever. But she was trying to say that a man who argues with a woman has female tendencies. Nope, it's the other way around. You don't get to write your own script on this. A woman who argues with a man has male tendencies. Why? Why would I say that? Why would I say that? Because I'm a guy? No, because let's look at what masculinity does and let's look what femininity does. Femininity is supposed to be the nurturer, the procreator. It's supposed to be the material. It doesn't have autonomy to aggress the environment. It doesn't do that. That's what masculinity does. Masculinity has the autonomy to aggress the environment. But key word here, aggress. Aggress. What does that mean? That means to move forward, to move upon, to go forth, to aggress. Femininity doesn't do that. So at the point where a woman wants to go back and forth with masculinity, a male nonetheless, she is no longer acting in a feminine form. Period. So it is the woman who is the change, right? It's not the man who's the change. It's kind of weird that they will point out all the times when a guy is so-called acting feminine, but they can't ever point out when they're in masculine form. That's really strange to me. But nonetheless, men, we aggress situations. We don't back down. We have something to tell you, right? We don't have nothing to listen to too much unless it's gang coming from some authority that's higher than us. We don't want to hear what you have to say. Is either you take this message or you go somewhere else. We're not your echo chambers. For the large part of a female's life, men are what causes her to change. Period. How and why can I say this again? Because what is she made for? What is she made for? She has this whole womb, she has femininity. The way she looks doesn't appeal to anyone else. It doesn't appeal to chimpanzees. It doesn't appeal to whales. It doesn't appeal to trees. It doesn't appeal to mountains. None of the things that she is has an application to the world. All that she is has an application to men. Period. All that she is. There's nothing. And children, of course, right? But as far as there not being any children present, the first go-to is men. Her whole application is for men because she is not built to change the environment. She is not built to alter the environment, though she does. There are women who definitely alter the environment, but this is by way of mankind's devices, man's inventions, right? This isn't by her own volition a lot of times. That's not to say that there are no creative women in the world or whatsoever. I mean, even the cavemen back in 70,000 years ago in France, they believe that those paintings were drawn by women, and I believe it too. That makes sense to me because they were in the cave, right? The men probably weren't sitting around drawing on the walls, but nonetheless, it makes sense to me, given the context of where it was and what type of people they were at the time when these drawings were made, and what was more than likely going on at the time as well. But nonetheless, the men, they are the ones who give the women the ability to do majority of the things that they do in this world. That's period. I don't understand how women miss this whole phrase in the female suffrage. They were fighting to gain rights, to be given rights. From who? Who did they have to get rights from? They had to get rights from the men. So literally, even your existence as a feminist, even if you are a feminist listening to this, it was given to you by men. You asked for it. You wanted to have a certain say in this society. You wanted to have a certain status in this society. Where did you have to get it from? You had to get it from men. So no way, there is rarely any circumstances where a woman evolves by herself. Her whole existence is tied to man, period. So that means that her whole evolution is tied to man as well. I think the sooner that women understand this, the sooner that they'll be where they want to go. I was talking to a woman not too long ago, and she told me that she didn't understand what the purpose of men were. And I've known her for some time. I've known her for some years, right? She's been the same person that I've known her to be. Not to say that she's a bad person or anything like that, but she's been the same person that I've known her to be since I've met her. And guess what she hasn't had? A man. There's no evolution about her. The same things that she's been trying to accomplish, she has not accomplished, because she doesn't have the internal drive. There's no man there to push her. Not saying that a woman needs to be pushed in order to accomplish things that she wants to, but here's the differentiation between that. The things that a woman can accomplish on her own is within the state of being that she already is. She just hasn't accomplished them yet. It's to get to the next threshold, you need a man for that. I'm sorry. I hate to say it. You need a man for that. You cannot evolve into something that you are not currently without a man. So everything that a woman has accomplished and will accomplish without a man, that is within her current state evolution. Meaning that it's not, let's put it on a level. Let's say that everything that she is right now without a man is a level 1. She can accomplish a lot of things in level 1, but to evolve, she needs a man to go to level 2. And women don't understand what this evolution looks like. Unfortunately, this evolution looks like more clarity of mind, more control over the emotion, more ability to see things further into the future and not be so short-sighted. There are a lot of things that come with the evolution that men give women. And it pretty much boils down to clarity of existence, consciousness, higher consciousness of existence. Notice, once again, echo chambers are nothing but feeding you the same type of things over and over again. You think that your conscious level will increase by being fed the same thing over and over again. No. Let's think about it. If we didn't have an educational system, if parents weren't what they are, being able to teach children, do you think that children on their own could evolve to understand their surroundings and themselves more than what they do as an infant? There were people who were, found. And, I think if you think about this, not to say that people don't have evolution, but these things are passed down within the society, which includes men. But if you look at some of the indigenous tribes across the world that have no contact with the outside world, they're very primitive, very primitive. Not to say that there's anything wrong with it, but the men, the evolution of that community is as far as the men could take it, period. That's what that is. That's what society represents. That's what the global economy represents. It represents how far evolved man is. Not mankind, but man is. Because literally, we have these societies, we have these technologies, we have this infrastructure because of men, not because of women. If we were to leave it up to women, it was left up to women, let's be honest. People act like women have been slaves since their existence of becoming women. No, they had the same opportunity, the same brain, the same ability as men did. It's just that we don't get trapped by our emotions. We don't have children. So there are things that women cannot do that men can do readily. For instance, I was in the military, right? This is the reason why there are not a lot of women in combat arms in the military. Not because necessarily it has something to do with their gender per se, but it has something to do with their biology. Because what do women do every month? They menstruate, right? If you're out in the field for 6 months on end and not being able to take a shower, how would that look for a woman who menstruates every month? It wouldn't be a pretty sight. It wouldn't be a pleasant smell either. So this is the reason why these things were done, because the enemy, we understood that, you shouldn't put women in that situation, because sometimes you have to sit in the spot for months on end and you can't move. But if they can smell you from miles away, literally, they can hone on your position. We knew this. This is nothing new. People think that these things are sexist. No. To some degree, yes. When it comes to other things, but when it comes to strategics of war and how things lay as they are, there's nothing really sexist about this. Think about it. If we are fighting a war with our entire country forces, we want the best and apt to be able to do the job, period. And if it was women, you think we wouldn't send them? Come on. If we want to win that war, if women were, let's see, some cybernetic organisms that had the ability to swim underwater for 20 minutes and jump 3 times higher than men could, and all these other crazy things that men just couldn't do, you think we wouldn't send them to war? You think we would say, oh no, they're just women. We're not going to use our most powerful weapon in the United States in order to crush our enemies? No, they're women. What will we look like? No, you're crazy. Come on, like we wouldn't do that. There's a reason why men were in these positions. But anyway, I'm diverting off of the topic. The whole point of what I'm saying is that everything that a woman is tied to a man. Everything, even her evolution. So if there are any women out there who believe even the slightest that you don't need a man for nothing, I guess you'll be stuck at level 1. But anyways, like, comment, and share. Check me out on Facebook. Check me out on the good old Patreon, right? But until next time, this has been the Wolf in Bearded Clothes. May you have a good day, because it is real nice weather out here. And may peace be with you.